like coming to the side of a body and looking at it and seeing somebody's feet and legs, and they were blue. So I knew somebody died. I didn't know it was me. And there was two like angels there, not with wings. One of them was a beautiful woman that looks like she should have had wings on, but she didn't. And then there was like a man there, like short, like I like to refer to him as an Oompa Loompa, although he didn't have the same color as an Oompa Loompa. He looked like a regular person skin color wise. Like the guy was like doing whatever he needed to do to fix the scenario. And I just heard, it's not supposed to happen like this. It's not supposed to happen like this.
Hello, my dear friends. I'm Donald Lee, and this is Expressing and Revealing Your Truth with Donald Lee. It's a podcast where I help you understand the truth about who you really are and how you can express and reveal that truth in the world. To do that, I interview people who have had transformational spiritual experiences, the type of experiences that many of us wish we had, but never do. Yet by learning from my guests' experiences, all of us can glimpse a bigger vision of who we really are and how we can live our lives more fully, more peacefully, more lovingly. Be sure to download my free mini ebook containing 5 of the 50 parables from my popular book, The Band Director's Lessons About Life. These little parables are short, easy to read, inspiring, and also help you to understand more about who you really are. There is a link in the show notes to get your free ebook. In this episode, I interview Trish Kane. At one time, she struggled with drug addiction, had an overdose, and a near-death experience where she visited the other side. After that, Trish dedicated more than a decade to healing through spiritual and holistic practices. This profound personal journey inspired her to create Healerverse, a community that nurtures growth, connection, and healing. Healerverse is an innovative platform designed to unite spiritual and holistic wellness worldwide. Trish is a holistic practitioner, an inspirational keynote speaker, a decentralization advocate, and author of the book Divine Intervention, Blockchain for Healers and the Wellness Community. I think you will be as thrilled as I am about this great conversation with Trish Kane. Let's jump in. Hello, my dear friends. We're here with Trish Kane. Now, Trish, as it turns out, is also here in Florida. I'm in Florida at the moment for the winter to stay out of the Canadian winter. But Trish has had just an incredible near-death experience. It really jumped her spiritual growth and the development of her spiritual and psychic gifts into high gear. I'm going to try to speak clearly. So welcome, Trish Kane. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. And I'm grateful to be here. And I loved what we were talking about before we hit play. You have such good energy, and I'm honestly thrilled to be here.
Well, thank you, Trish. I'm thrilled to have you. And Trish and I were connected through a mutual friend a couple of weeks back and spoke on the phone. And here we are doing a podcast interview. So, Trish, I'm going to ask you, you know how to tell your story. I don't need to prompt you with a whole bunch of questions. I'm going to invite you to just jump in and tell us your story of spiritual awakening, your spiritual journey.
Amazing. So I would have to go back before the near-death experience to really give the full picture. Um, I'm going to start in 2012. And mind you, right now it's 2026. It's January 20th of 2026 in our calendar here. Whether that's accurate or not, whatever, we all go off of that, right? I grew up in Long Island, New York, and it was right before my wedding. And I was struggling for a very long time with drug and alcoholism abuse. And I had a brother-in-law that passed away. a month before my wedding in 2012 of similar circumstances. And after that, I started getting all these ladybugs in the house. It was my soon to be husband at the time's brother, and I was really close with him. Shout out to Richie. And I would get all these ladybugs in the house, and it was winter time. And it was always like in the room, in the bedroom or whatever, like not every day, but I would see them. And I'm like, this is a sign. And then I would always also take, I think I have like tarot cards right here, but I would take like playing cards. And sometimes I would like go like two, and it would be a two, seven, like, 10. I was right every time. If I
So you
guessed, I
you were
was
just
right.
you were pulling cards off the playing card deck randomly and predicting, and you were right.
Yes. And I'm like, whoa, I have superpowers. Granted, granted, I was on like substances at that time. Um, but still, like, my like psychic senses or my intuitive senses were elevated. I think that I was using substances because I'm very sensitive, and it was helping me to cope with this world, with this realm, as a very sensitive soul. And I think if even if you look at a lot of the people that are imprisonated for like drugs and stuff, like, they're very sensitive, and I have a lot of empathy for them because of their sensitivity and how they wound up there. But what happened was, fast forward, like, I was, stopping and starting drugs, specifically cocaine and alcohol. I only wanted to drink, but I wound up like doing cocaine all the time, and it was awful. I was like in a prison, like myself, even though I wasn't in jail. Like, it was awful, like using those substances, but I kind of lost the power of choice. Like, I tried to stop, you know? So what happened was November 16th, 2014. You know what? It was November 15th, 2014. I poured a glass of wine, and it was 4:30 in the afternoon. I was in Jupiter, Florida, and I said to myself, I'm just going to start early. I'll go home early. But that was like a lie that I regularly would tell myself. And once I like drank, it was all bets were off, Don. Like, all bets were off. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. I know I
so
know exactly what you mean. You know what? I was at a Christmas celebration and or over Christmas, and alcohol is usually served. So there was wine, and there was another lady there that I was meeting for the first time, and she was kind of hem and hawing, would you like a glass of wine? Well, I don't know, yes and no, and so she just waited and offered several times, and finally she explained a little bit that she didn't really want to drink. She was trying not to drink, and I said, yes, I understand, because like I've almost completely gotten over, don't drink alcohol at all, but I used to drink too much. And I said to her, which is very true, I think you'll agree, it's it's easier to not have the first glass than to not have the second glass.
yes, exactly. And the 14th. So,
Yes. Yeah, once you have the first glass, well, what the hell?
yeah. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so like I wound up like drinking until the next day, like from 4:30 in the afternoon. And I said to myself, I'm going to just have a little bit early. I'll start early. I'll be home early. I had this plan in my head of being in bed by 10 o'clock. Like, this beautiful vision. It's Saturday night. I'll be good by Monday. What happened was I drank until the next day, and I took cocaine, and I went to like the bar the next day. And I wound up um dying of a cocaine overdose. And I was 86 degrees when the paramedics found me. My mom just had a feeling something happened to me and had the police paramedics come check on me on the 17th at like
So
2
so
a.m.
you were at home?
I was at my mom's house in Florida. I had just
Oh,
basically like several months before, maybe like 4 or 5 months before, went to Florida and just kind of packed up and moved to Florida spontaneously. But it was always in the back of my mind that one day I'm going to move to Florida. That was
Okay,
11 and a half years ago.
okay, so you're at your mom's place. You're
Yeah,
drinking
she was
for
in New York.
24 hours or so, taking cocaine. You
Uh,
went unconscious then? Is that what happened?
yeah, I went unconscious on
And then your
the
your body
16th
temperature. So
in the
normal, for those who don't
afternoon.
know, normal body temperature in Fahrenheit is about what, 98 or is it
80
96?
98.6,
Yeah,
and
so
I
you're
was 30
about
degrees
12 degrees
Celsius.
Fahrenheit below normal body temperature.
Yeah, and in Celsius, it was 30 degrees. So what's the normal body temperature in Celsius?
I think it's 36 or 37.
Yep. Pretty low. I mean, I
So
was
you
dead. My mom just had a feeling something happened to me. She was at her house in New York. I was at her house in Florida, and she had a wellness check done on me because she couldn't get in touch with me all day. Um, and probably because I was just going to sleep, but I wound up passing away. And I went through a tunnel when I passed away to like it was on a boat. Like the long version I'll give you. I was on a boat in a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel, I remember like coming to the side of a body and looking at it and seeing somebody's feet and legs, and they were blue. So I knew somebody died. I didn't know it was me. And there was two like angels there, not with wings. One of them was a beautiful woman that looks like she should have had wings on, but she didn't. And then there was like a man there, like short, like I like to refer to him as an Oompa Loompa, although he didn't have the same color as an Oompa Loompa. He looked like a regular person skin color wise, like tan skin, kind of like lightish tan skin. But like a little guy, she was tall, and she had stuff handled. She was gonna handle it. That this person died, she was gonna handle it. The guy was like doing whatever he needed to do to fix the scenario, and I just heard, "It's not supposed to happen like this. It's not supposed to happen like this." And then when I looked up, like, because I was at the end of the cave tunnel for this part of it, right? It was literally like basically stones in front of me, like it was a whole open area. The cave, like the tunnel was behind me, the big tunnel. I was in that tunnel for a while, mind you, on that boat. It looks like a gondola, but the top points of the sides of the gondola weren't so high up. Um, so when I looked up at the top of like the cave, like there was a whole other section up there, and there was people up there that I could see that were celebrating Christmas. I wanted to go up there, didn't want to die, but I wanted to go up there, and I was trying to tell the people up there when I did get up there that this person died, and nobody was listening to me, and they continued to like celebrate Christmas. Um and like after that, I laid in a 9-day coma on life support. First, they called my mom and told her that I died. Then they called her back and said, if she makes it, she's going to be brain dead. You better get here, you know? My poor mother, you know? But it
So
just
so just
shows,
just to be clear, Trish, so the police came around, you're at your mother's house in Florida, but your mother was at her other house in New York State, alone then at your mother's house in Florida. Is that right?
yeah, yeah, at the end of
And the
it, yeah.
police came around to do a wellness check.
This
Yeah.
this community that she was living in is a gated community, with like high like security. It's like a nice neighborhood, and the security guards had the key to get in the house. So
Okay.
they were able to let the police in the house to check on me. Yeah.
Okay.
Um
And then the ambulance came, took you to the hospital, and then they tried to revive you and get
they
your
were
body
yeah.
temperature up.
I think they might have revived me before they got me in the ambulance. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But basically, they had to put the tube down my throat, and they tried like a series of times, and they actually weren't able to get it. I think that's why I have such a raspy voice. I did prior to that a little bit, but from the tube going down my throat. And this is like in the police report. Plus, I met the people after, like years after, and I thanked them.
Mm.
I even went to the hospital and I said thank you. But like they tried a couple times to get the tube down my throat and they weren't able to. And they basically, the paramedics all together said, we're going to try one more time. And if we can't get it down, we're going to put a hole here.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I guess I really lucked out because now it doesn't look like anything happened to me like that. I'm sure that would have healed anyway, but yeah, so they basically, I had two dogs at the time. They put the dogs in the bathroom with water. I don't even think the dogs ate for quite a few days. Like it was awful what happened to them too. Um, and basically, yeah, 9 days in a coma. And then when I woke up, basically people were praying for me like all over the place. My mom was like putting holy water on me. Like the power of belief and intention and prayer is a
Yeah.
thing because it worked. Whatever it was, it worked. My aunt and my mom made an email address called wishes for Trisha at AOL.com. And there was like 50 to 75 emails that my friends wrote me when I was in the coma that my mom printed out to read to me. But doctors told her, like, don't bother her in the coma. Don't talk to her. She needs to really rest. Like, that's how her brain's going to heal. So she would like sneak in there, put holy water on me, whatever she was doing. Which is good because it gave her hope. It
Yes.
gave her like, something to do, to believe in, to hope for.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked.
So did did you perceive any of this through your coma? Did it sometimes these things that are going on in the material world, they enter into people's perception in the other world in a certain way, not directly, kind of indirectly. Did you perceive somehow any of this, or was it reflected in your experience on the other side?
Thank you so much for asking me that. That's so cool. So after the coma, I'll start with this, right? After the coma, I stayed up for days and I was like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? And they kept trying to give me meds to make me sleep. And I'm like, hell no. One, I'm scared to go to sleep. And two, like, what was that? Like, you guys have no idea because when I woke up, I had to tell people that somebody died. You know what I mean? Like, somebody died. So, what I think it is that I timeline hopped because I read a book years later called Many Lives, Many Masters. And I read
Oh
that book
yeah.
so slowly, because I couldn't read it fast. Like I had to integrate it and like digest it and figure out, I'm like, oh my God, this is it. This makes sense. You know, this makes sense. And then I had so many people get that book after, but like, I mean, I did. I had 2 strokes, and I could tell you about that after, but, like, I totally and then Deepak Chopra said that recently at an event that I was at that he did, like a smaller event here in Palm Beach. He said he met somebody recently. He always speaks to me when I see him in person, like, I'm like, he knows that I died or whatever, like, so powerful, but, so basically, he said he met somebody recently that had a near death experience and they timeline hopped. And like, I'm telling you, Donald, that's exactly what happened to me. And the experience that I had and what I saw was something that I can relate to from this timeline and maybe what I believe is past lives. Like, what I saw would not be the same thing that somebody else would see because it's based on what you're able to understand. And that's
Yeah.
my belief and experience, but I'm not telling anybody else to believe what I believe because I'm
Yeah.
big on that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the experience you have is also the experience you need to have.
Mm, powerful. Yeah. And also, like, I always believe that it's not for me. Like, of course, like, that whole thing was for me. Like, Trish, stop drinking. You can't not
Yeah.
keep drinking and you wind up doing cocaine every time. Why would it be different? Why? Like, like, it's not going to change. Like, why would it change? Like, that's crazy.
That's
Um,
right. If you keep
yeah,
doing what you've always done, you're gonna get what you've always got, right? I mean,
yeah. And it
yeah,
gets
when once
worse
once
and
once you
worse.
do something a bunch of times, you figure out what the consequence of that action is. The consequence doesn't change. You have to
No,
change the
it gets
action,
worse.
right?
Yeah, it just gets
Yeah,
worse.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you were just saying, Trish, about in your near-death experience, you popped, you called it, over to a different timeline.
Yep.
So so was that and you think that was a past life of yours?
No. I think it's like a subsequent reality that's happening at the same time. Maybe. I don't think
Okay.
I went back to a past life. I think like our souls are one thing, our spirits are another, and like our spirit can split up.
Oh, yes, I think, I mean, not that I haven't
Yeah.
had personal experience of this, but, the people I study say, yes, that our soul or that part of our spirit that is incarnated in this body at this time and place, it's only a part
Yeah.
of, like because this physical body can't handle the amount of energy that our total soul, what we sometimes call our higher self or our higher soul or our oversoul, it
Mm.
it can't all fit into this physical vessel that we use here on Earth. It would destroy this. It would destroy our body if we tried to put our whole soul, our whole spirit into it.
Mm.
So the spirit divides or the soul divides into various, but it's only we're what we think of as our soul is really only a portion of our soul or the
Yeah.
spirit that we
I
really are. And that's
I
fine.
agree. I agree. Like that's my belief too. Yeah, that's my belief too. And I think like this and I've like asked too like where are you? Are you up there? Are you out there? And the response has been, "You're too human, you'll never understand." And I'm cool with that. Like, I'm supposed to have a
Yeah.
human experience right now. Like, even if you look astrologically, my south node is in Scorpio, my north node is in Taurus. I'm supposed to have a very human experience this time around. And that's actually tricky for me, being a spiritual being that's used to the spiritual realm. Sometimes when I'm in conversations, I go up to if it's like a very 3D conversation, I just snap into the spiritual realm and I have no idea what they said. And that happens a lot.
Yeah. That's our mission here, really. It's sometimes
Yeah.
expressed as our purpose here is to bring spirit into materiality. It's this unique blend of body, mind, and soul that we get to experience and try to blend all of those and sometime somehow express all three very different aspects of ourselves, body, mind, and soul, as a unified entity. It's a real challenge.
Everything is possible. And then I would say like that did escalate my spiritual life. Because after that I started seeing trees for the first time and ladybugs were infested with my treatment center that I went to. So I had 2 strokes. I had to learn how to walk again, talk again, think again, everything. My organs all died. Some that don't even come back online came back online. Like, what? My left eye didn't move back and forth. The left side of my face was so droopy. Um, I I literally didn't have peripheral vision for many years until I did like a theta meditation and they like my vision came back from upgrading my DNA from a theta meditation. Um, I did stuff very slowly in the beginning. Some things I couldn't do, like still this hand, like I was not able to do this. I couldn't even hold anything in my left hand for like I don't know. Stuff would fly out for like a couple years. For a couple years, 3 years, 4 years, things would just fly out of my hand because it's like my right side of the brain takes care of the left side of the body and the left side of the brain takes care of the side of the body. And I had bilateral watershed, cerebral, cerebral, cerebral strokes. um, So yeah, both sides. And that was from lack of oxygen for like that time period.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I've healed and my spiritual life today, it goes in and out, to be honest with you. Right now, I feel really good. You know, it's really easy to feel spiritual when you're feeling great or when I'm feeling great. It's easier. So
Yeah.
maybe they go hand in hand, you know?
Oh, yes. I often say that because we are body, mind, and soul. And of course, even that is an extreme simplification. We're far more complex than that. But at least it helps to beginning to understand us that we're not just one thing. We're not just a body. We are body, mind, and soul. And all of the three intimately affect each other. I mean, everybody has experienced this. For example, if you when you're going through school, you have a test or an exam at school one day, and you're feeling sick. If your body is physically sick, your mind is not. It simply can't operate at its best. Neither
Yeah.
can your soul or your spirit. It's not operating.
Yeah.
Sometimes over the past decades, I think, if I've got a bad cold or a flu or something and I'm homesick for a while, I think, oh, I'll catch up on my reading of books or, I'll just lie here and meditate. I can't focus my attention, right? The mind doesn't work well. The spirit can't even meditate very well when you're physically sick. So, yes, all parts of our body affect all the other parts of our body. Just a little break from the program to mention a couple of things. Firstly, if you're enjoying this podcast, please like and subscribe. It really helps the algorithm to find more people who would enjoy these interviews. Also, if you're interested in spiritual growth, you might be interested in my series of spiritual books. As a spiritual author and a former band director, I use my little the band director trademark in these books because I use music as a metaphor for life and our journey of becoming a musician as a metaphor for our spiritual journey. There are 3 books in these series. The Band Director's Lessons About Life is a book of modern-day parables inspired by events from my teaching career. When you're working with kids, things naturally come up that we sometimes call teachable moments. Little events where you realize that there's a bigger lesson happening right now than the alternate F-sharp fingering on the clarinet that I was trying to teach. I started writing some of these little stories down and turning them into modern-day parables. So, the Band Director's Lessons About Life has 50 little parables. It's a bit like a Chicken Soup for the Soul book. Each parable is about 3 pages long. Each begins with a story that happened in school, and then there's a reflection section that draws a spiritual lesson out of the events of the story. That is, it explains what the spiritual metaphor means. The Band Director's Lessons About Life is easy to read, makes a great gift, and expresses many universal spiritual principles in an easy-to-understand way. If you want to go deeper in your spiritual growth, I've also published a study guide to accompany the Book of Parables. It turns the Band Director's Lessons About Life into a year-long course in spiritual development. You will spend a week on each of the 50 parables. There's a deeper teaching about the meaning of each parable, reflection and discussion questions, especially if you would like to use the study guide in a group setting, and a different meditation for each lesson. The third book in the series is a little book titled The Band Director's Pocket Guide to Spiritual Growth. This little book explains a simple 3-step process for putting your spiritual growth into high gear. You can learn more about all these 3 books and my other books at my website, www.cominghomespirit.com. Because, after all of us are on a spiritual journey back home to God. So that's cominghomespirit.com. You can also go directly to my Shopify page at cominghomespirit.myshopify.com, where you can purchase my books directly from me. At the moment, I can only ship paperback books within the continental United States. So if you live in other countries, you will need to purchase my books through Amazon in your own country. If you're enjoying this podcast, I really think you'll enjoy my band director series of books as well. Now, back to the program. Did you
Yeah.
just suddenly wake up? Or how did
Okay.
the
So, like, they tried to take me off life support on like day 5 or something, and I
Mhm.
still couldn't breathe on my own, or 6 or 7. I don't know the exact timeline, but and I still couldn't breathe on my own. Um, this is kind of fun for me to share about, actually. So, so then yeah, I couldn't breathe on my own, so they put me back on, and then I remember waking up on like ninth day. So I was really like sleeping or in a coma for like the first day. So anyway, but when they tried to wake me up, like, I put myself in a coma. It's not like they put me on medication in a coma, but I guess at whatever day I was medically induced because I couldn't breathe on my own. Um, and then I remember I remember waking up. Yeah, I remember waking up, but I didn't know that I was waking up. I didn't know that's where I was. I didn't know that's where I went. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything. They told me after. Um, and I remember like looking around. It looked like the room was moving. I was like, place is crazy. The room is moving. And I remember seeing my dad, I think, first. I think I saw my dad first. And then I saw my mom and the doctors. I remember them taking the tube out of my throat. And I didn't know there was a tube in my throat when they took it out of my throat, if that makes sense. I was chilling. And then I remember them taking it out. They said cough, and it came out. And didn't know that that's what was happening. And then they said, I was so hungry, Dawn. I was so hungry. I didn't eat for like 10 days. I remember I was hungry and I was pissed. Because, like, nobody wants to be laid out like that. You know what I mean? And I remember, like, looking at the exit sign. I thought I was in the psych ward or something. I thought I was in the psych ward. And I was like, shit.
you're
And,
thinking, "I'm starving to death. What did you do to me? And
I
where am
know.
I anyway?" Right?
God, I didn't eat for so many days.
Yeah.
And then I'm like looking at the exit side and the door, and I'm thinking of in my head how to get out of there. You know what I mean? I'm thinking how I could run out. And then the doctor was like, um, do you know where you are? And I looked around and I said, hospital. And he said, he went like that. And I was like, what the? Like, why is he shocked? And I was shocked that he was shocked, to be honest with you, because I thought I was in the psych ward. I've been there a couple times for drinking too much, and doing drugs. Not that I was completely out of control, like da 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 da, like, you know what I mean? Just I had way too much a couple times. One time I was like going into detox, for like, and I took like 30 Ambiens and 6 Xanax bars, and they were like, when I was enrolling myself into detox, they were like, "What did you take?" And I said, so proudly, 30 Ambien 10s and 6 Xanax bars. And they were like, oh my God, 911, da da da. You know what I mean? Like silly stuff that I wound up in the psych ward. Um, because like they think you're trying to kill yourself, but no, what happened was I didn't want to have anything left over after. That's what my mentality was. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'll just take it. Yeah. And then I won't have anything left over. I'll be good after detox. Like the craziness of alcoholism and addiction. But anyways, the doctor was like, "Do you know where you are?" I said it. Hospital. He gasped, and then said, "I have no idea." I think he asked me a few more questions. You know who the president is? I said, "I don't know who the freaking president is," regularly. You know what I mean? So I don't know. You better ask me a better question. Yeah. I was just being a wise ass, to be honest with you, and they didn't think it was funny. How many fingers am I holding up? All this stuff. And then they said, I have no idea how you're here right now, let alone speaking to me. You have angels. That is what the doctor said to me. He meant it. He was freaking mind blown. And I was mind blown that he was mind blown because they didn't tell me what happened. You know what I mean? And then slowly but surely they told me. I'm pretty sure right away they put me in an MRI machine. And I remember them coming back shortly thereafter, and they asked me the same things a couple times. Actually, they asked me, "Do you know which hospital?" Right? And I said, "No." I had no idea where how I got to the hospital or where I was. I had no idea. And then um, they told me what hospital I was in, and then when they asked me again if I knew where I was, I said yes, and then they said where, and I said hospital, and they said, "Do you know where?" And I said yes, and they said where, and I said Jupiter. That's where I was, right? So like they were shocked. I have no idea you're here right now, let alone speaking to me. You have angels. MRI machine, then they slowly came to me. You had 2 strokes. You know what I mean? Like you had all your organs died. You were kept alive by machines. Da da da. And I'm like, "What?" Like, you don't think it's gonna be you. You know what I mean? You don't
Yeah.
think it's gonna be you. You don't. You really don't. Even like, other people that I had in my life that were like drinking and doing drugs as much, if not more than me, were like, I thought it would have been me, not you. Um, and like I know like 230 people probably I'm already up to that have passed away of drug or alcohol related causes since I got sober in 2014. Because that's the last time I drank or did drugs. I had to get sober after that and
Yeah.
also go to PT and OT. And they sent me to the psych ward. They did. And they did all these tests on. And they said, "There's nothing wrong with you. Stop drinking." That's what the doctor said to me. "There's nothing wrong with you. Stop drinking." I said, "I've been trying for years." It's like a thing, you know? Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
trying for years to stop drinking and I couldn't. I really tried, but, like, it's like you have to learn everything differently. You have to have a whole new life, whole new friends, whole new actions, whole new hobbies, you know? It's like a
Oh,
whole
it does.
new thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, absolutely. I interviewed another fellow who had, recovered from alcohol and drug addiction, and it does. Your life changes. All the people, but you know what else? All the people that you called your friends when you were drinking and doing drugs, they're just drinking buddies. They're not really friends.
Exactly. I concur. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't talk to anyone after that that I knew from
Yeah.
the bar. No way. Or like from like partying. One, I couldn't. And two, like I had to do stuff differently. And that was the best thing that ever happened. Cause like, like this whole journey, the last 11 years, 2 months, and 3 days has been a spiritual life. And
Yeah.
the learning how to do everything again was a very spiritual and humbling experience. Nurses putting me on the toilet that were my age was a very humbling experience. I was 29 when this happened. I'm 40. Yeah. And I'm still here. I celebrated my 40th birthday tremendously because I'm still here, let
Yeah.
alone like doing big things, like unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable. I cried earlier. Like, I'm like, "Is this really my life? Like, is this really my life? Like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what? I'm blessed."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a completely different way. Well, that's why I say it's a transformational spiritual experience, totally transformed your life. And it,
Yeah.
the way you just said it a minute ago, it made me think that it's kind of
Mhm.
strange to be able to say that, dying was the best part of my life.
Honestly, it was bad before that. I was
Yeah.
actually just thinking about this the other day, Donald. Like, like I don't even know if that was the best day of my life, but it sure as hell got things started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I still had thoughts of drinking after that. That's insane. That's not
Yeah.
normal, but it is,
Yeah.
right? Because like obviously I did that's what I did. Like growing up it was encouraged to drink and it was acceptable and it was part of culture and
Yeah.
community and it was the cool thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
some people can have a drink, that's cool, good for them, but it's not me. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
So did
since then
so before all this happened, Trish, did you were you aware of any spiritual gifts or any psychic abilities or anything that before your near-death experience?
I was very sensitive my whole life, and I
Okay.
started to like see the things with the cards flipping over and the ladybugs and stuff. I always knew that I was different. I always knew that I was like really good with people and that I needed like an abundance of people to like help and talk to and connect with and to like keep my circle very small though. That's always been how I've like rocked and rolled. And like also realized that even if I didn't know who I was praying to, that helped me because I had a hamster that died that I was really upset. His name was Flitter, and I named him Flitter. That's so funny. And he like I would pray and I would feel better. And then my grandma's dog passed away, and I would pray and I would feel better. And I did that on my own. No one told me to. Um so like I've always been very sensitive, but like as far as like the spiritual gifts that I have today, no, this like wasn't present. I was very conditioned by society and like by community as was everybody else around me. So like we didn't know any different. I know that I liked to be by myself a lot since I was little because that's where I can regroup and get into that creative energy that really allows me to create and build. Like I'm an Aquarius, so I'm all about building
Me too.
technology. You are too?
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
February 8th.
That's my birthday.
It's coming up. Well, maybe we should do something to celebrate together on
I
February
would
8th time.
love to.
We're
Yeah,
we're both in we're both in Florida, but we're quite a ways apart from each other.
almost as far as you could get except for the keys. Yeah, I mean, like that's first of all, happy birthday in advance. You're only like
Yeah,
the fifth person or
you too,
fourth.
Trish.
Yeah, you're like no, you're like the fourth person I've met with our birthday. That's it. It's 2-8. It's duality and infinity. That's a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever think of that?
Not specifically that way, no.
Cool. Yeah, we have a cool
And it's
birthday.
it's almost a symbol for what I was saying earlier, that we are meant to bring spirit into materiality, right? We are meant to bring
Yes.
the infinite into the finite world of duality. That's interesting that you put it that way. Thank you for sharing that. It's
You're welcome. And you know what? My birthday, 2-8, I died on 11/17. Like that's my rebirth date rather, is 11/17 is when they found me at 2 a.m. or whatever. Um, yeah, like that's the same thing. It's 2-8, like my rebirth birthday. Like and then there's other like numbers like 11 and 2 and 8 like kind of all circles through like in my family like with like powerful dates of deaths and births and yada yada. It's yeah, it's powerful. It's really powerful. Yeah. But I guess like since then, like I said, I saw trees for the first time. I saw butterflies for the first time. I enjoyed a sunset for the first time after that. I was filled with so much like just like heaviness until that happened to me. So I got a second chance. I took the second chance. I had the option. Like I did. Because remember, I was like, it's not supposed to happen like this. It's not supposed to happen like this. I was not in a good place, but I had the choice to come back here and I chose to come back here. I like to like joke around. I'm like, yeah, like when I was there, I was like, I don't want to do this one again. Send me back. I'll do it. You know what
oh,
I mean?
and
Give me whatever mission you need me to go back with and like, let's do it?
oh,
Um,
good for you. That's so courageous. That's unusual. I mean, most people say, no, I don't want to go back there. It's beautiful here. I love it here. I don't want to go back to Earth. So
I,
that's very courageous of you.
I'm definitely courageous, Dawn. I really am. I can celebrate that about myself. Like some of the stuff I've done in the last 11 years and 2 months, like people probably have never even done it in their whole lifetime. Like I just keep running, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like towards like my ideas and my goals and my visions for like what I want to build for humanity. And I just keep going and going and going. And like I don't stop. Like I
Right on.
don't stop.
Okay, so Trish, tell us now. You got better. It was a long road to recovery after that, but
Yeah.
then you started on this spiritual path, and your
Yeah.
psychic um, gifts were awakened. Tell us that part of the story, and
You
then
know,
leading up to what you're doing now and how you're using your gifts to help people now.
yeah. So, like after that, I really just made sure I went around the right people, people that could lift me up. I was always the biggest advocate for going to the bar, and I became the biggest advocate for healing and like helping others and stuff like that. It sounds 3D and like whatever, but it's true. And like stuck with like people that were doing stuff that I wanted to do. Like I say, if you want to be in the you know, NFL or WNBA or whatever, spend time with people that are really good at football or really good at basketball. Like I was spending time with people that were really good at not drinking and doing drugs. And I spent time with them and like that were like happy and had a spiritual life. And then it just has been a journey and an evolution since then. When I got 1 year clean and sober, I started doing my MBA, and that was something I always wanted to do, was get an MBA to like prove that I was in resource room and like special ed, and I'm like, hey, I'm not stupid, I just don't fit in your mold, you know. um, like so I did, I got a master's in business and I started working at a treatment center, even though I started Wall Street at like 16 or 17, I think 16 or 17 as an intern on the mercantile exchange. And then like fast forward, like I'm waitressing then at 29. You know what I mean? Because I needed to start over. Really, I did. And I was also sitting in a board meeting the week before I died, by the way, at Boca Raton Regional Hospital. Like I was basically like on the staff for the executive offices, and I was literally in a board meeting, and then I was dead a few days later. You know, um, that's just how it works sometimes. And then um spiritual things happened and just kept happening. I was open-minded. I'm still open-minded for like new stuff to come in. You know, the latest thing that happened is this beautiful woman called me, and I've been asking God, please send me people that really need help. Like really. And this woman called me last week. She was struggling with drinking, and I know who to call to get people into detox and treatment because I wound up running a treatment center while I was getting my MBA. Um, and then I started like doing tech sales and traveling all over the southeast of the US and stuff. And everywhere I went, I would like look for like spiritual experiences. And then 2020 hit. Let me tell you about that lady real quick. When I went to go help her at her house the next day, when the detox was coming to get her to pick her up to take her there, her room is filled with ladybugs, pillows, lights, light switches, like her cups, her picture frames. I'm crying when I get in the car after I leave her. She has no idea what she just did for me by her calling me and asking for help and how much I needed like that sign from spirits, you know? Ah, it was amazing. I'm like, yeah, like I just there's not as much action up here. I used to live in Delray and Boca, and that's treatment center capital of the world. So there
Oh,
were so
really?
many people to help all the time, so much service to do, whatever. And now I'm up in Jupiter and it's like really like just quieter. So like that lady did a lot for me that day by calling me and giving me opportunity to help her. And then the rooms filled with ladybugs, like, oh my gosh. Like I already told you, that's how I found spirituality and God. Like really. And 2020 hit and I started to be able to see spirits and things happening and them contacting me and some of them messing with me that I know. Um and lights flashing. That's another way that I get contacted by ethereal realms as well as spirits, for lack of better terms, and to make sure that this podcast gets seen. Like flashing lights. And funny enough, recently it's been happening a lot again too. And I'm grateful for that. Yeah. Like it's been happening a lot too. Like keep going. You're on the right track, you know? Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
And
you're doing a psychic healing now or spiritual healing. And so how did
no,
you start
well,
into that?
I actually in 2022 started building a social media platform and a marketplace for spiritual and holistic well-being. Basically, it's a decentralized platform. It's called Healerverse. The website is 5dhealerverse.com. On there, you can find spiritual and holistic practitioners, events, and courses. You could even buy and sell tickets to events. If you're a practitioner, you can sign up and use it as your main platform. You could put unlimited courses on there, buy and sell tickets to events, have your booking through there. Right now, we're working on launching the first telehealth platform with healers on the other end. So people can go meditate on demand, breath work on demand, nutrition, you name it, whoever's on there. We'll be offering stuff on there. Um, and yeah, like it's like I went from dead to like building a huge company. Like what? And it's not for me or about me. You know what I mean? We have work to do, Donald. We have work to do. Like Healerverse, like already, like it took forever to get the tech up. It's completely customly built the tech stack. But now it's like vibing and going. And one of the things I want to do this year is partner with like drug and alcohol treatment facilities and any nonprofits that are in that space to help people. Like it's going to be agnostic to any sort of 12-step program or way of doing things. It's like for the spiritual and holistic side of things, you can come to Healerverse. Same thing with cancer, not only in fighting cancer, I don't even like that word, but like just it's a typical common word, and also
Yeah.
preventative through diet and exercise and like more of like the spiritual and mental part of it though, and rerouting some of our systems. Oddly enough, I just had this bug bite on my arm that was right above my pick line. My pick line was right here. The bug bite is right here. It's directly, exactly in the same line where this bug got me and it got infected. This was huge. And I had one of the healers on Healerverse that was like, I'm gonna work with you to heal this. Yeah. I'm a Reiki healer also. I'm a Theta healer. I am able to communicate with other realms and stuff. I also like it's cool because like a lot of people on like LinkedIn, for example, that are bigger time CEOs will reach out to me to have conversations that they feel that they can't have with other people and are able to
Right.
like finally talk to somebody. So that's cool. And I'm always available for that. And yeah, like I feel that, it takes a tribe and Healerverse as a like a collaboration and as an institution that I created. And the practitioners on there are amazing. Everyone's welcome to join right now for like maybe the next couple months. It's only $44 a month for a practitioner. It's basically like better for you can use that instead of Circle or all these other apps, School, da da da. You could use that instead of other apps, and then people are actually finding you that actually need you, you know? So we literally like we do so much for the practitioners and the healers. We do roundtables every Friday on Zoom. We educate people on what's out there so that way they can find out what's out there. There's so
Yeah.
much, right? Worldwide.
Right. So if any of our listeners or viewers of the podcast
Yeah.
are interested in finding all sorts of different kind of healers, check out 5dhealerverse.com. Is that right?
Yep, that's right. And even if you misspell it in Google, it will come up. Like it's we haven't even done SEO organically. We have
Yeah.
thousands of people on the platform already. We're getting ready to go with SEO now and going to be doing a lot of stuff now. It's go time. It's go
Good.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm
that's exciting.
excited. Yeah, it's exciting. It really is. You know what? It's been a lot. It's been awful. Like, that's the truth. It was awful building it, But I've had a lot of opportunities because of Healerverse to get in front of like some people that can really help to make changes, you know?
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and our world and all of the people in it need healing right now, probably more than anything else. We need to
Yes.
heal.
Yeah. So in order to like get like help with a therapist or a mental health practitioner, like you have to wait like 4 to like 10 weeks, depending on what country you're in. Like you can literally come to one of the Healerverse events and meditate with us in the meantime. Come do breath work with us. Come talk to us. Come spend time with us. Book an appointment with a practitioner. You know what I mean? On demand. Like you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah.
Right.
Like we're here for you. Like it's important. I've struggled with my own mental health issues, you know, physical health, spiritual health. When this first like got me for like a month and a half recently, I did not feel good. It got me good. And then I took all these herbs and spices and boiled the heck out of them and drank it as tea and it started to go away and I changed my diet. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I kept saying to myself, I know what to do. I know not to eat this ice cream or whatever, like regularly. I really went off the deep end for a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though like I'm not big or FAT or whatever, I'm not. But like still like just eating that stuff, like I did start to put on like enough weight to affect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
5 pounds on me is a lot for not appearance wise, for my body, for my health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we
Yes.
notice it. And it's a constant struggle, because of our conversation just before we hit record, but I've just been at this podcasting conference last week. I was gone from, where my regular home and my regular routine for almost a week. And I was just so glad to get back to my own routine, my own food. I'm not eating that other kind of food that everybody else eats, but I know I don't. Yeah, try to get back to more healthy eating less, and yeah, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. I've been interested in health and fitness and diet my whole life. It's probably hardly a week has gone by in most of my life when I haven't read something about diet, health, fitness, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, sometimes people look at me and say, "Oh, you're very fit for your age." And yeah, it's not an accident.
Yeah. It's so
I know,
true.
I don't look 90.
No, you're 90?
No, I'm not.
Oh!
I'm
Oh
I'm
my god.
joking. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
joking.
yeah. I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I'm gonna on my birthday, February 8th, as you know, I'm gonna be 68.
Wonderful. Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's amazing.
And
So
you're
I'm gonna
and
be
and you're
41.
and you're turning 41. Yeah. My
Yeah, we look
twins my
young.
my
We do look
twins are
young.
40 right now.
Really? That's amazing.
So, as you know, part of what I ask my guests on this podcast, expressing and revealing your truth, is to help people how they can understand the truth of who they are and then express
Mm,
and reveal the truth of who they are in the world, how people can live their lives more fully, more lovingly, more happily in the world. So, in addition to going to 5D healerverse.com to check out all kinds of healings
yeah.
from your incredible journey, Trish, what other things, ideas can you offer people to live more fully, to live in a way that reflects who we truly are, the spiritual beings that we truly are?
Yeah, I mean, take time to yourself to heal. Nothing is more important than your healing journey, and everybody has one that's waiting for them. Because the thing is that a lot of us, it's in our DNA and it's in our society. And also, like, in order to become the full and true version of ourselves, it involves a lot of unlearning, undoing. Like, instead of like always doing and being in the masculine, um, and everybody. to kind of tap into that healing side and spend time with the right people around you. If you notice that people aren't supporting you, then you probably don't want to spend as much time with them. That is the biggest thing. And just because maybe some stuff seems like it could be like really cool and everything, listen to your internal compass because that will tell you everything that you need to know. For a really long time, I went against my internal compass
Yeah.
and things didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
So, and yeah, that's been like my biggest journey to healing has been saying yes to things that are hard and showing up and unlearning almost everything that I knew. Literally tapping in to everything that I said that came out of my mouth, everything that I was thinking and saying, is this true? Do I actually believe this? No? Okay. Cancel that, and just being gracious and gentle with myself as I've been in this process of unlearning and relearning and reviving and revolving and like just evolving. Yeah. Like life is
Yeah.
good, baby.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus said we need to be born again, and you absolutely were born again in a very unique and dramatic way.
Yeah, and you could check out like my personal YouTube channel or my social media to see all the stuff that I've done and I'm doing today. Yeah, my LinkedIn has a lot of it. Has like my whole bio of all the places that I've been blessed to speak at and to present at. Like unbelievable. Unbelievable. It is believable. See? Wait, we're going to rewrite that. We're going to rewrite that because we're just getting started,
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's just
we
cool.
can. I'll definitely put those links in the show notes.
Sure.
But what is your YouTube channel? Is it something that people can remember if they're just listening?
I'm guessing it's Trish Kane. I haven't posted on there in a really long time, to be honest with you.
So Trish Kane
At
with a
Trish
K.
Kane. Yeah. But like you can see like even because you said about Jesus, I got baptized in the Jordan once. I literally, I'm not religious. I'm agnostic to religions, but I'm very spiritual and I love all of it. Honestly, I think all the religions are beautiful. So I take a little bit of all of them and use a little bit of all of them. Yeah. But yeah, like any social medias, you can book with me if you're interested in learning about either having me come in as an advisor for you in the tech space, or like if you're a healer building like a tech business, like you can hire me, or my tech company to build stuff for you, or simply we already have a lot of tech built out. You can just join 5dhealerverse.com. And if you're looking for like different experiences and practitioners, we vet all of our healers and they're part of our community. So like we know them very much so and definitely recommend them.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Trish. And when you talk about healing, it's a much broader concept of healing I think you have in mind than what we normally think of. It's not just healing your body. It's spiritual healing, psychological healing, emotional healing, energetic healing. And, you mentioned getting around people who energetically feed you. And we can feel this, can't we?
Yes.
Get around people who we used to call it the vibe, right? Going back to all the great songs in the 60s, and I'm getting those good vibrations. Yeah, get around people that you get good vibrations from. That is their energy. And, try to avoid people who are energy vampires. They just suck your energy and you feel so drained after you talk with them.
It's true. I agree. I concur.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Thank you for those great words of wisdom.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you so much, everybody. It was so good to see everybody. Feel free to reach out and share and like, comment, and share on his podcast. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me, Trish. I don't know if we'll get a chance to meet in person. Mike, thank you very much. And who knows, we might meet at one of Wayne's Peace Festival days yet. That might come up.
That's right. Let's do that. That's actually halfway.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, about
Yeah,
Crescent
actually,
City.
it's halfway for you, not me.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm
what I
still
was
gonna
thinking.
come. Yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you too. God bless you, Trish, and may your work prosper, and may you personally prosper as well.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye for now.